pandemonium here in Chicago as the Chicago Bulls have just been introduced to the crowd, and here are the starting lineups. For the Philadelphia 76ers, Ricky Green and Hersey Hawkins. In the backcourt, Armin Gilliam, Charles Barkley are up front. And the center, Rick Mahorn, the coach of the 76ers. Jim Lineman, similar to Phil Jackson, he's done a superb job in a potentially disruptive setting. He's kept a volatile Sixer squad from self-destructing. John Paxson, Michael Jordan, open to the backcourt for the Bulls, who go with their usual starting lineup, although Phil Jackson was telling us there could be quite a bit of shuffling here today with the matchup problems that the Sixers present. And you see the rest of the lineup with Cartwright at center and Pippen and Grant at the forwards. And Phil Jackson, the head coach of the Bulls, telling us yesterday at practice that he was upset with his team's performance against the 76ers 3 weeks ago, a game won by Philly in overtime despite the absence of Charles Barkley. He said the Bulls were lackadaisical defensively.
Well, things like that can happen at the end of the season, particularly when you no longer can attain certain goals. Portland had locked up the best record overall in the NBA. They had won the division already, and it's tough to keep them going sometimes when there have been so many big games during the course of the season.
And it was Barkley after that game, who, as we said, sat out, who's pointed out that the Bulls showed lack of respect for the 76ers that day. They did not take the game seriously, as it turned out during the regular season. The Sixers beat the Bulls 3 out of 4. Philadelphia beating the Bulls here twice. Once in that overtime session, they split 2 games at the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
Charles was planning his motivational tour career by just using every opportunity he could to get his teammates ready for what might happen after the season.
Well, he pointed out that part of that disrespect was demonstrated by Michael Jordan, who had a golf date earlier in the day at 7:30 in the morning. Hugh Evans, Bennett Salvatore, and Ronnie Nunn are the officials. It'll be Gilliam and Cartwright on the opening tip. And game 1 of the best of 7 is underway as the Bulls control the tip. The matchup opens with Barkley against Pippen and Hawkins going against Jordan. Ricky Green guarding John Paxson. And Mahorn against Cartwright, who goes right at him. They try to get him off early. Gilliam tipped it home. Well, Grant gets credit for it, and it's a 2-0 Chicago lead.
One of the points of emphasis is the fact that Gilliam needs to get on the glass more. He went after it. Unfortunately, it worked out the wrong way as the jumper is knocked down by Hersey Hawkins to start it off for the 76ers.
There was a point earlier in his career that Hersey Hawkins was said to be intimidated by Michael Jordan, but he's played well against him over the past year. Nice pass for Grant, and the Bulls lead at 4-2.
When Chicago's offense is operating as they intended to, you'll see a lot of movement without the basketball, an occasional backdoor layup.
Mahorn isolated against Cartwright. Rick Mahorn has been on fire. Coming in shooting 78% against the Milwaukee Bucks. And that was a new playoff record. Cartwright feeling for Mahorn, going right at him. Yes. The Bulls 6 and the 76ers 2.
And Chicago really stays with its game plan early. They said yesterday that one of the areas they felt was Cartwright scoring over the top of Mahorn. As they come down early in the game, we see him go right at him.
Crowd reacts to the foul. A push out on Scottie Pippen. Paxson checking the floor. Jordan using the pick, met on a switch. Now backing Hawkins. Yes. The Bulls 8 and the 76ers 2.
But down the road, could they exist together? Charles told us yesterday, no problem at all. I was happy to see him play that well.
Jordan lost it. And here's Green on the run, going 1-on-3 and hitting. Spectacular move.
Charles Barkley really struggled that last time down. He was the last person down the floor for both teams.
Cartwright, yes. Philadelphia foul.
He said there was so much pain, he decided at that point, I'm going to shelve that one for a while until I'm feeling a lot better.
Chicago 12 and Philadelphia 6. Cartwright, yes. Fast start for Bill Cartwright, and the Bulls lead by 8.
Gilliam wound up on Cartwright. Chicago takes advantage, goes right back inside. Bill's just too big for Gilliam to play him.
Cartwright had a solid series against Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks. Pippen guns it down. Jordan putting the move on Hawkins. Yes! And it counts.
Playing what they wanted to do. Everyone is doing their part so far. They jump out to the big early lead.
And the Sixers, who shot so well in the sweep of Milwaukee, only 2 for 11 from the field. Off the press, Cartwright picks it off. Jordan for Pippen. The Bulls have ripped off a 19-6 lead.
And as they do in almost every game, the Bulls, after a free throw, will give you some type of pressure, some type of press. How you react is the key thing. Is Barkley make sure that one's going down.
Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. A blazing start by the Chicago Bulls. They now lead it 19-8. Grant played by Gilliam. There's Pippen for Cartwright. Bill Cartwright on fire. He's hit 4 out of 5. The Bulls 21 and the 76ers 8.
We've gotten a chance to see Chicago down the stretch a couple times, and to me, Bill Cartwright is playing the best ball of this season down the stretch.
The poor Philadelphia shooting continues. Meanwhile, the Bulls continue the onslaught. Make it 23-8, Chicago. Barkley getting inside, and it's now 23-10.
Philly going back to probably its most used play during the regular season, the isolation for Charles Barkley on the left side of the floor. We'll see that a number of times this afternoon.
Pippen with a good fake, and the bucket. Scottie Pippen has hit 4 out of 5. He has 8, and the Bulls have a 25-10 lead. Sixers now 4 for 14 from the field.
That has been named the best defensive player in the NBA a couple seasons ago. It is not easy to get a shot off against Michael Jordan. When he is zeroed in, he's one of the best at the guard spot.
Pippen again. Scottie Pippen has hit 5 out of 6. The Bulls have come out and connected on 13 of 17. And the Sixers want to talk it over. Timeout taken. A new Cole up front now with Ron Anderson and Charles Barkley. The shot clock is down to 3. Jordan for 3. Cartwright on the rebound. Bill Cartwright has hit 5 out of 6 for 10 points. It is Chicago 29 and Philadelphia 12. Anderson has hurt the Bulls these last couple of years. Hawkins with the spin. Crowd wanted to travel. Here's Barkley. Charles Barkley getting inside for the box out. 29-14 Bulls. Barkley jumping out, not able to maintain possession. Jordan goes to the fadeaway. 7 points. We are down to 1 minute left in a first quarter that has been all Chicago. Cartwright open. Yes. He has 12, and the Bulls lead by 20.
The Bulls are running a little baseline screen series. Cartwright steps out, sets a screen. The Bulls let one of their players fly off him, and when Cartwright's man goes to help out, he just steps in the middle of the lane. He's wide open.
Now Grant guarding Barkley. Help from Armstrong as Barkley swings in. Yes, and it counts. What a move by Charles Barkley for 12 points. The foul by Grant putting Barkley at the line. He completed the three-point play, and the Bulls with a 34-17 lead. Jordan sweeping in. He challenged Bol, and the Sixers have a 3-on-2. Bulls able to get back.
You may have wondered why Jordan took it so quick to the basket. He was hoping that they would get 2 shots to end out this quarter. If the Sixers shoot, they get it back again for the last shot.
Anderson for 3. Ron Anderson, who normally does not look for the 3, was able to hit. Pippen did not see the pass, had to save it, and succeeds. Here's Grant. Final seconds of the quarter. Andre Turner. And that's the end of the first. It's the Bulls 34 and the 76ers 20. Bill Cartwright with 12 points to spark the Bulls in this opening quarter of Game 1 of the best of 7. Unusual stat. Pippen off the pick. Scottie Pippen has hit 6 of 7. Purdue with Pippen and Grant up front. Purdue changed his mind and then lost it. Not much of the category of hands on both sides of the ledger.
But when that ball's on the floor, you need to get down on the floor and get after. Reaching down is not going to get it for you as Hersey knocks out a 3-pointer. And they understand they're going to be hard fouls, no easy layups. We're going to have to go to the free throw line, make our shots, but they can't lose their concentration.
Will Purdue as responds to the Purdue rebound. Bulls 38 and the 76ers 25. It is now Reed guarding Jordan. It's Purdue again.
Now for the rest of the game, it doesn't work for the 76ers that way.
A cameo appearance by Robert Reed. He immediately sits down. Jim Lynam now going to the big guard setup. The double on Gilliam, and he's able to recapture. Barkley for 3. Yes, Charles Barkley with lots of time to think about. And the Sixers 29. Chicago led by as many as 20. They came out blistering in the first quarter. Shot clock at 5. Armstrong. B.J. Armstrong. Turner got the step. Gilliam lost it. Here's Jordan.
Against this Chicago team, you've got to make your moves quickly. They're just too good at recovering defensively. You hold the ball, they're right there in your face, challenging, making things happen with their defense.
Again, the double up on Barkley as we come up on 3 minutes to go in this first half. Here's Gilliam. Yes. Arlen Gilliam missed his first 5. That's his first field goal. And the Sixers down by as many as 20, hanging around. Now trailing by 11. Cartwright not happy with the defensive work by Gilliam, but still able to hit.
And Gilliam did a good job taking away the initial move to the middle of the floor, but then never moved his feet when Cartwright turned baseline.
14 points for Bill Cartwright. And Barkley able to get to it. It is only a 12-point Chicago lead. We appear to be on the way to a blowout, and Charles Barkley single-handedly has brought the Sixers back. He now has 23. He has killed the Bulls in this first half.
And Jordan looked around at the end and said, hey, is anybody going to come and help on this guy?
Bulls by 10. Pippen, outplayed by Mahorn. He got the step. Won't count. Does not get the call on the continuation with Pippen. Here's the help. He was triple teamed. 24-second horn went off. Play continues. Oh, Pippen with a hop, skip, dribble, and the bucket.
There's no excuse from that. 2 76ers, Mahorn and Gilliam watched him go around Barkley and go all the way in to score a layup. Someone has to step out, step in for a charge, go for the block, but don't let him make an easy score.
Bulls by 13. Ricky Green. Michael Jordan on the rebound. 20 seconds remaining in the half.
Just when the Sixers had made a little run to get them right back in the game, they just kind of lost their concentration here in these last 2 minutes. The Bulls with an opportunity here to go up by as many as 15.
And Jordan goes to the hoop and draws the foul. Who's listening?
Yes.
So the Bulls lead 57-42. Pressure by Chicago. Livingston applying it on the horn. Not allowing the Sixers to get up court. And Jordan off the steal. The Chicago Bulls have a 17-point lead at halftime.
Sometimes you wonder why you're going to press with 5.9 seconds to go. This is the reason why you press. You'll always take those 2 points if they want to give them to you, and Michael Jordan will be most happy to knock it down.
And much of the good play by the 76ers in the second quarter is ripped away by the Bulls in the final minutes. They lead by 17 as we go to halftime.
Speed and quickness, if any, is in the backcourt. Their big people slow.
And Pippen opens up by hitting from downtown. It is back to a 20-point lead. Bucks also without Dale Ellis. Jack Sikma was hurting. Hawkins trying to answer with the three. And the foul called on Paxson.
Tie him up, gets a piece of the arm.
Here's Barkley. Oh, what a move by Barkley. And Cartwright is hurt. Off the collision. Cartwright shaken out. Began his NBA career as a #1 draft pick of Phoenix. Second selection overall. Last year dealt to Charlotte for Kurt Rambis. Averaged just under 19 a game for the Hornets. Here's Jordan. And then Gilliam obtained in the deal for Mike Jaminski back in January. Here's Barkley. Able to penetrate through 3 Chicago Bulls. Paxson stopped by Green. It is a 19-point Chicago lead. 2.5 in. Third quarter. Pippen from Cartwright.
When you run the type of offense that Chicago does for the entire season, they have a lot of confidence in ball movement. They have a great understanding of the shot clock and how much time is left on it. That time, great example right there. Patience paying off.
Biggest lead of the game, 21-point margin. Green had the uncontested reverse. Paxson going right at Gilliam. The 76ers calling for time. Field goal attempts. That goes back to late in the second quarter. And here's Anderson. Played very well by Pippen. Hawkins for Barkley. That has not been the case here today.
No, they want them to know that we can shut you down whenever we want. You're not getting back in this game as Michael Jordan continues down to the low post to shoot over his opposition.
71-48. Unless there is a miraculous turn by the Sixers, this one is taking on the look of what the New York Knicks ran up against in Game 1 of the Bulls-Knicks series. What a shot by Barkley. Barkley spotting up against Grant. Now Cartwright over to help. Anderson. Ron Anderson has been quiet. He is only 2 for 7.
The guy that the Bulls are leaving alone at the defensive end is Rick Mahorn. They're doubling Barkley with Bill Cartwright, Mahorn's defensive player.
And Mahorn has been no threat, 0 for 2 from the field. Jordan for Grant. The Bulls 61-21 during the regular season. Best record in the Eastern Conference. They are the 9th team in NBA history to win 60 games in a season. Michael Jordan with 25. And again, a 20-point Chicago lead.
Jordan down in the hole, posting up, knows he can shoot it over the top of any of these guards that the Sixers have out there.
Paxson over to help, called for the leg block. Sixers and the Pistons and the Pacers and the Celtics.
Those older teams struggled a little bit, the Pistons and the Celtics.
Anderson. And the Bulls now lead 75-57. Barkley changed his mind. Hawkins for three. 4.5 to go in the third. Nice pass.
I guess as a leader, you got to find different ways to try to get yourself involved in the game. And I think with this team, it's very important to get everybody else involved, get their minds certainly feeling that they can make a contribution to this team. I feel that at any point in time, I can step up and give my contribution. But I'd much rather see them give that output, and then maybe I can help them out in any way possible. So this series, I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to look around and see what these guys are going to do and see if they're going to step up and give us that offensive output and defensive output, and then just try to implement my skills somewhere in between.
Here's Hodges. I think Barkley is the best athlete in all of sports in terms as Grant hits on the reverse. Bulls lead it.
They used Manute Bol's man to set the screen on the dribble handoff. Manute jumped out, different from the first half, and challenged the shot. The result, a miss.
Sixers working the clock down. Andre Turner wanted Manute away from the paint. 3 on the 24. Turner. We're down to 10 seconds to go in the quarter. So the Sixers get a second possession out of it. Turner trying to hand off to Anderson, who fires. After 3, here in Chicago, it's the Bulls, 83. The 76ers, 63. We'll be right back. Of course, Chuck would understand.
Yeah.
83-63, a 20-point Bulls as Robert Reed connects on his first field goal attempt. Pippen, yes, and the Bulls lead again by 20. Charles Barkley with 34 points and 11 rebounds. Right now getting a rest. But you look at some of the, oh, there's Manute.
He feels it today.
Shot.
Man, they've taken 2 points away from him already. I mean, this could be an 8-point afternoon.
Armstrong. Bulls again by 20. Look at the rest of the Sixers shooting. Armin Gilliam, 1 for 8. Percy Hawkins, 2 for 9. Rod Anderson, 3 for 10. Andre Turner, zip for 6. Ricky Green, 1 for 5. It has been horrendous. Hodges off the steal.
But the first 3 guys...
Water should receive citations for fines. Apparently, Barkley received a citation from the city of Milwaukee.
Some people will just never allow you to put things behind you.
Are you talking about our production staff? And it's tipped home. Manute Bol with his second field goal. He has 8, and the Bulls with a 91-69 lead. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Pippen. He got the step on Bol.
And he was going to make sure that Manute didn't get him from behind by throwing it down with one hand.
Scottie Pippen has scored 24. And the Bulls lead by 24. Reed. Anderson. Pippen off the steal. And Armstrong was looking for Purdue. Anderson trying to work off the pick. Pippen right with him. Bol to the hook again. Manute Bol with 10 points. He's hit 2 hook shots, or as Jim Lynam was telling us, he refers to him as a flip shot, but that upsets Manute, and now he says, well, yes, it is a hook.
But seriously, yesterday, Jim Lynam did tell us that the team has more confidence now in throwing Manute the basketball. They feel that he can give him a score. Let's check out the form on this hook shot by Manute. Jump hook, half turn.
Very elegantly described. Robert Reed called for the foul to put.
The Sixers have had so much respect now for the defense by the Chicago Bulls as Reed misses the jumper that they have gone to a motion passing game here in the fourth quarter.
It's a 4-on-2. Hodges for 3. Yes. Greg Hodges, winner of the NBA's three-point shooting competition at All-Star Weekend. It's his first from downtown this afternoon, and the Bulls lead by 26. A rare bucket for Armen Gilliam. It is only his second field goal. He has 5.
It's tough to have everybody grouped up on the low box area and have the offense work the way you'd like it to. With Bol there, you can isolate him up high. Barkley's out of the game right now, so the box now belongs back to Armen Gilliam.
Good play by Gilliam on the deflection. Here's Turner. Bulls lead it 97-75.
The one guy that Phil Jackson leaves on the floor with this unit is Scottie Pippen. Give it the stability that it needs to continue to perform.
Armstrong match with Turner. Oh, got away with the palm. And that is rejected by Bol. And here's Gilliam. Turner on the recovery is fouled. Extensive garbage time back in the second quarter when they opened up a huge lead. They led by 20 in the first quarter. The Sixers shooting has been horrendous right throughout.
It may be hard for some people to believe that there is a carryover effect from year to year, that teams don't remember and learn lessons from the year before, but the Bulls certainly seem to be on a mission. They learned well from last season.
Armstrong held by Turner. The Detroit Pistons meeting in a 5th and final game tomorrow.
The Hawks almost slipped that we in there. Up until last season, the Hawks had played the Bulls extremely well. Last season, they whitewashed the Bulls and shut them out.
It's 98-78 Chicago. They have maintained the huge lead. Manute has gone hook shot mad.
The guy can't get a roll.
Manute always enjoying the action. We're down to 4 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Crowd hanging in. Very few have departed. Here's Hodges. Had it knocked away. Turner able to remain in bounds. Anderson had it batted by Pippen. And again, a kick ball used. Scott Williams, a rookie free agent out of North Carolina. Dennis Hobson has been on the disappointing side since coming over in the trade from the Nets. Now we're getting wild here. Wait a second. Two-hand over-the-head shot by Manute.
Fadeaway. You forgot to mention
sorry.
Fadeaway on there.
Ball has hit his season high of 10. He's 3 for 6 from the field. Turner on the steal. And puts the move on King, who draws the foul. Atlanta back in '86, and he was acquired from Charlotte.
And he was still hanging around there in the 3rd round. The Hawks thought it would be a good gamble, and drafted Dave. Nice to see him go to Charlotte then, eventually play well, and now 76ers pick him up.
Bulls by 18. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. Here's Williams off the head fake. Scott Williams matched with the rookie from St. John's, Jason Williams, who just came on. That's Jason Williams. And the Bulls lead it 98-82. So you're saying there could be a carryover effect to Game 2 on Monday night, coming off this kind of blowout.
Carryover effect for who?
Negative for the Philadelphia 76ers.
The 76ers will see this film a number of times before the next game and will be reminded by Jim Ryan that they will have to come out and assert themselves where this team is and what they need to do to be successful.
The foul line. Jason Williams with the rebound. Thanks, as always, to our producer Tommy Roy, director Andy Rosenberg, the master of the stat sheet, Mr. Stats, Elliot Kalb. As we come up on 2 minutes remaining of the game, here's Oliver, and he was hacked by Hobson.
Between Ricky Green, Andre Turner, an area where Phil Jackson expressed to us yesterday he had a deep concern, was going to pay special attention to that area, and they certainly did today.
And it led to a brutal shooting performance by the Sixers at 34%. Show you how far this game was out of hand. The Bulls had a 10-point lead or more for the entire contest except for 6 minutes. Armstrong giving Chicago a 101-84 lead. And as bad as a 17-point deficit is at this point, Williams rejected and then able to hit. It seems much worse than this.
You got the feeling today that the Bulls were never really threatened by the 76ers. They didn't have enough weapons out here today to really do the damage they had to if they were going to win this game. And Chicago just
significant factor for the Bulls. He had 14, Grant with 12, Barkley leading Philadelphia with 34, and then you have to look down the list. Hobson fouled by Oliver. St. George plus second-round picks in 91.
Explode in scoring, a guy who had some size in the guard position like Michael does, a guy who had been a scorer before he came here. Since the trade, Dennis Hobson has not given him what they expected from that position.
Coming up next, fifth and final game between Seattle and Portland. Nick Enberg, Steve Jones will bring it to you from Portland. Oh, Jason Williams supplying some instant offense. Makes the score more respectable, but this is one that the Sixers were not in throughout the second half. Michael Jordan set out the entire fourth quarter. The pull-up by Turner. And the Bulls now lead 103-90. And as you see, we are down to 40 seconds remaining. In effect, it has been a coronation of the Chicago Bulls. Stacey King on the putback. Bulls 105, 76ers 90.
Well, at least the fans here are fair. When Stacey does something they don't like, they boo. When he does something well, they cheer for him.
Well, time running down, 20 seconds to go. And the Bulls hearing it from the crowd. Livingston fires. Hoppin with the rebound. Williams lost it to Livingston. Gets it off. Chicago Bulls defeat the Philadelphia 76ers by the score of 105-92 in Game 1 of the best of 7. With Game 2 coming up here in Chicago on Monday night. Charles Barkley with 34 points. Michael Jordan with 29. We'll be back to wrap it right after these messages.